All right, hi everyone. As you can tell, I'm still a little stopped up. This is between classes. I've already had my AM class, and the PM class is on its way. And by popular request, there's been a number of people that wanted to know how to begin drawing your stairs in section. Uh, there's a few pieces that are involved in it, but it's not terribly difficult. I apologize for the sniffles and all that other kind of stuff. It's just something that we're going to have to deal with for a while. I'm going to start by zooming in on a corner over here. As you can see, I'm in drawing number 301, and this is the information I've already set up for all you guys. So if you don't have it, make sure that you download the zip file for your class from Blackboard. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line, and I'm going to start. Start at the top of this. I go to start drawing the line at the ground floor. Zoom. I gotta show this. There is a little offset right here for the brick. That's done intentionally. That way, in case one comes in through the studs and is messing up your floors. The depth there, it can be anywhere between 1.5 inches, which is fairly typical because it's usually a 1x6 that the framers will come in and lay sideways. I've also seen these things as deep as 8 inches, so it's not completely arbitrary. There is a difference there. I just want you to be aware. Risers in this plan. So I'm going to draw a line, and this is a vertical line, and I'm going to draw one of these lines for every line on the floor plan for our stairs. Excuse me. So I'm going to offset this 11 inches, and I need a total of 17. So if this one is 1, come on. Good grief. There we go. There's 2. Yeah. 3. At this rate, it's going to take forever. Whoop, didn't want to do that one. Well, we need a total of 17. Do it this way. There we go. Yeah, the reason that it's so jerky and it's hard for me to mouse in and be precise on this is because I'm running the virtual machine and trying to get the video, the screen capture. So that's a lot of processes that are running on my computer right now. Is that not right? I think I need one more. How many do I have here? Nope, 17. Okay. Now I need 18 copies of this line from the top. Now, we're going to get to a point where the distance for the riser height, which is just over 7 inches, we're going to make that exact here in a minute. But I'm going to start with a 6-inch riser, even though I know it's wrong. And there is a method to my madness, I promise you. You know what? Alrighty. Okay, so it's 1, 2. Get my axis lock going. There we go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. There we go. 18 lines. Now you can use the offset command to get those. I'm not using the offset command in this case just because of system performance, as I'm trying to run all this at the same time. Now, in order to make these, now the way that I have this is that this bottom line is actually supposed to be the line of the floor. It's actually supposed to be this line. And there's obviously a difference there in dimension. But I want to distribute that dimension evenly across all these various lines. And to do that, I'm going to use the scale command. I'm going to scale all these horizontal lines. And my scale point, my base point, is I'm going to snap on this intersection right here. Now, instead of like trying to mouse something in, which I'm not going to be able to do right now anyway, I can type R to establish a reference scale. And so if my first point is here, I move down to the second point to establish my reference length is here. Well, I know that's where the floor line that I just drew for all these stairs is. I know that that's the wrong spot for the floor to be. But if I make that my reference length, I can then scale everything to be the actual floor length. So there we go. And normally I would say use the fillet command. I'm going to zoom in. If we use the fillet command, you always click on the side that you want to keep. One there, and one there. And then here to here. There we go. So we would repeat that all the way down. Or I'm going to take a line. And this is not running on a diagonal. I'm going to take it all the way to, as soon as it wants to refresh, and take it to there. There we go. And then I'll trim. This is my cutting plane, or my cutting line. And I'm going to trim all those lines off, and I'm going to trim all these lines off. I'm going to move. Come on. Move that line to there, and it didn't work right. Virtual machine and trying to get a screen grab off of this. It's just being finicky. There we go. I'll repeat that trim command. There we go. So this is the most basic profile shape for your stairs that can exist. This accurately maps out the length of the tread, which is going to be the length of these little horizontal lines, and it also accurately dimensions out the height of all the vertical lines, and that dimension is roughly 7 1/16. It's actually a little different than that. I'm going to enter my units dialog. I'm going to change this down to or some ridiculous number that they would never actually use out in the field, the 256th of an inch. If I get that same distance there it is, 7 15/256. So that's we don't want to keep those kind of fractions in our head, which is why I offset everything 6 inches and then just scaled it to fit. I'm going to take my units, set that back to a 32nd. Okay. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to take all these horizontal lines, and they need to be copied 1.5 inches down. And Obviously, right now I'm drawing everything on the GXRF layer just because it was the current layer. These layers are going to change. No, not the vertical line, horizontal. Sorry this is taking so long, guys. This is frustrating for me. There we go. And copy them all down 1.5 inches. And now I'm using the extend tool to close these ends off here. Or you could use the fillet command. Make sure your radius is set to 0. I hope you get the idea. All right, we got that done. Finally. Now what I want to do is I want to draw a line. I'm going to draw from here. So you see it's on this underside front corner of the stair tread, if you will. I'll explain what some of this stuff is actually supposed to do here in a minute, what all these various parts are. Okay, so you see how I'm not drawing at the very tip top out here. I'm drawing up underneath. Offset that line 11 inches. There we go. Now I gotta delete that line. I'm going to offset this is going to be the level of our floor, and this information is sort of already drawn, so we don't have to worry about it all that much. So this condition that I'm doing right now, closing that end off, that is actually what I have right here. So that's how those things, that's the relationship that we have with the stairs. And then we use the fillet command to close that bit off. And that's basically all that we have to worry about. Let me clean up this bottom end. All right.